हेलो। हेलो। हाँ। हाँ हाँ। संकेत सगळ्यांना अलाव कर. शिंदे मॅडम म्हणल्या. हा, शिंदे मॅडम म्हणल्या. ठीक आहे, आपण start करू. हा हा, ठीक आहे. हा, चालू आपले 30 जण आणखी. Good afternoon, everyone. On the occasion of World Telecom, we had organized this webinar. Uh, so I would like to thank Dr. B.D. Patil sir, Chairman of DPU, Dr. Somnath Datta Patil sir, Secretary of DPU, Dr. Principal of our college, and Dr. S.R. Jok sir, HOD of ANTC department, this opportunity to organize this event. We have with us Wankhede sir. He is principal at training department of BSNL Pune. And without wasting much of the time, because we had problem with we have the problem with the, so without wasting time, I will request Wankhede sir to start with presentation.
I need to share my screen.
Yes,
So,
sir. I request Jok sir to have a few words. Till that time, we will give sharing to Wankhede sir.
Hello, good afternoon all.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, this is my men's. Hello, this is Dr. Dipali Saleh, Associate Professor in ENTC from Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Technology, Pimpri, Pune. I take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Nilesh Suryakant Wankhede sir. He is Principal Regional Telecom Training Center, Bharat BSNL Sanchar Nigam Limited, MIDC Chinchwad. I just wanted to introduce about sir. Sir has completed his BE
Okay.
in ENTC University in 1997. He is qualified in TES Group B All India Departmental Competitive Exam in 2007. And about his professional experience, sir has working. He is associated with BSNL since 2000 date. He is working in Regional Telecom Training Center, BSNL Pune. Sir has conducted training programs on broadband communications, mobile communication, and computer network for trainees of various districts of Maharashtra. Sir has designed and conducted the vocational training courses and major project courses on STS transmission and computer networks IPv6 implementations using tunnels. Trainings imparted to the trainees of BSNL and organizations like Infosys Limited, Vodafone India Limited, Maharashtra Police Wireless Wing, Air India Limited, Najgaon Cochlear Limited, and Telecom Management. I welcome you, sir, and I request sir to please deliver. I will just continue with the session on 5G technology. Thank you, sir.
Oh, madam, 1 minute. Madam, Dipali madam.
Yes, sir.
Hello. 1 minute. I want to welcome
Yes,
him.
sir. Yes, sir.
So, first of all, I would like to welcome Professor Wankhede sir. He's from BSNL. 2 days back, I had a talk with Mr. Dapurkar sir. So he only suggested sir's name because I was requesting Dapur to deliver the lecture, but he said there is some problem, and so he suggested newer name. So I welcome you in this program. Similarly, distinguished the Pune Center, I can see Gopal Das Daura sir has joined this meeting, and many other dignitaries like Dr. P.H. Patil and all. 2 days back, I had a talk with Mr. Dapurkar sir. So he only suggested every week's name because I was requesting Dapur to deliver the lecture, but he said there is some problem, and so I have attended few courses on 5G and 4G communication from IEEE, and so that's very much useful to me for launching this platform. So I welcome you in this program. So thank you very much, Nilesh Wankhede sir, for giving us opportunity to listen to your talk. I think now with thanks to all our management, Dr. P.D. Patil sir, Somnath Patil sir, and our principal, Dr. Pramod Patil sir, our Dean Academic madam, and TPO and the Dean Training and Placement, Professor Dheeraj Agarwal sir. We are thankful from our management side that you have given us opportunity to listen. So kindly start your seminar, sir. You can start sharing the screen. I request Sanket to kindly allow this share screen option to be enabled to sir. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, all the respected dignitaries from the D.Y. Patil College, Pimpri.
Request Sanket to kindly allow this share screen option to be enabled to sir.
5G technology
Thank you.
will be coming in next year, probably in India, on this World Telecom and Society Day. Good afternoon, all the respected D.Y. Patil College, Pimpri. Request all of you.
Request Sanket to kindly allow this share screen option to be enabled to sir. Thank you.
Will be coming in next year, probably in India, on this World Telecom and Society Day. Good afternoon, all the respected D.Y. Patil College, Pimpri. Request all of you.
Request Sanket to kindly allow.
Right. In between, I will also have to admit all the waiting room people. Right. Yes. Topic is 5G. As you can see on the right side of here, I'll talk a little bit about the 3GPP and its releases, the technologies involved in 5G, the advantages, applications, and the challenges as a telecom engineer. Why 5G? Okay, there are various applications on internet which are demanding high bandwidth. Okay, you might have heard about the application like driverless car. Okay, Google car. Everybody might be wondering why this Google car since the last 4 or 5 years it is not launched. Okay, so I think it was waiting for this 5G technology to be rolled out.
ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಬ್ಯಾಡ ಈಗ ಬೇಡ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಾರ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತಾರ ಸುಮ್ಕೊಡ.
Okay, so about this Google car, latest applications like in gaming also the famous game Google Stadia. Okay, that application now they have launched in 8K video systems. So very promising applications are there, but for that purpose everybody will require bandwidths. So peak data rate that is being promised on point-to-point links on 5G technology will be upload 10 Gbps and download speed with the Gbps. This is really awesome speed. Okay, how we are reaching to that particular speed, I will be introducing the concepts which is going to increase that thing. Second important thing is latency in RAN, radio access network. So in 4G systems we are getting the latency to the tune of 300 milliseconds. Now what is 300 milliseconds? I just blink my eye and 300 milliseconds. Okay, why it is in milliseconds, but still why it is not useful for like driverless car? Because blink of an eye and we can get accidents, right? So it should be in the radio access network, it should be in the single digit milliseconds latency. The number of devices per square kilometer. Now here 1 million kilometers is being promised in 5G rollout. So it will be say in 3GPP latest releases are going to happen. So the cell throughput will be 10 Mbps per square meter. Cell edge data rate at the edge of every cell, the data rate promised is uplink 50 Mbps and downlink 100 Mbps. So promising features of 5G. So now all the technologies are basically driven by some applications which are running on internet, and the bandwidth requirement is higher, right? So and some latency issues, like for mobile broadband systems, we are requiring user plane latency to be 4 milliseconds, control plane latency 20 milliseconds. Now the mobile technology, the wireless part, that is radio part, is from second less than 1 millisecond latency. User plane and control plane of the core network, they are promising near about 22 milliseconds latency. So we can expect about 20 to 25 milliseconds latency in the full 5G net. Now various capacities are higher capacities are being provided with the help of this 5G technology, and these two factors, higher and lower latency, are the driving forces for going for 5G technologies. All new capacities are higher for implementation. The new functions are there, but simultaneously various technologies have developed, just like IPv6 in networking field, and various radio access technologies have been designed, like software defined radio and all kind of technologies are actually finalizing the things for 5G to be rolled out. The 5G release 15 version 3GPP specific. The requirements, it will be used in following cases: enhanced mobile broadbands, ultra reliable and low latency communications, URLLC, massive machine type communications, means machines are talking to other machines, and the connectivity never goes off. So the things are expected to come into the picture. How fast is 5G download for the users, 4G users? 4G user, this is a typical showcase, right? So whatever file that was expected from user, it was downloaded in 0.6 seconds, and yes, after 20.6 seconds 4G can be used to download the thing. Forget about 3G. They are very low speeds, right? Okay, so new devices are there. New form factor device, very small devices, small form factor devices are there, like smart watches, a lot of things are there. Okay, smartphones already there. Drones is very great application where 5G technology is going to be very useful. Smart and autonomous vehicles, broadband access everywhere, so smart homes and outdoor conditions which are demanded, connected stadiums. So various features are there. Why smart devices? The smartphone is called a smartphone because that devoted to internet, and internet has Google like sites, Wikipedia like sites with full knowledge. So those devices are smarter. So we have various devices at home too. Smart TV, smart washing machine, and smart all the things, networking things are smart cameras, smart sensors, right? So various things are there, and they are going to be interconnected. This 5G system, which is as supportive to the Wi-Fi, existing Wi-Fi connectivity to some handover things from Wi-Fi to 5G and all. How is the 5G standard different? Okay, so to give again eMBB, MMTC and URLLC features. Okay, and now what are these features? Basically multimedia content and services content services and data are being offered. 8K ultra high definition video transmissions are available. Various femtocell deployments at offices, and 5G interfaces will be requiring for having this enhanced mobile broadband use cases. So Internet of Things, which is already there, smart wearables, sensor networks. Typical applications are sensor networks where cannot reach. There are some locations where human beings are not able to reach, and still we want to have some data, having sensors, like various sensors available. Okay, existing techniques are there, but they are typically for short range, just like Bluetooth or the Zigbee connectivities to the internet. But yes, the range is very low. Low power device, so 10 meters or so. We want some system which will cater the high speeds to multiple customers at us. Okay, this is showing that some surgery is going on with the help of a doctor not available at that particular location. So this kind of surgeries can be possible only if full 5G is rolled out. Its latency factor. So it will be real time system, massive MMTC applications. So it is basically using in case of smart city, we have various traffic conditions, various car parking occupancy related issues. It can be solved with the help of sensor networks and the features of IPv6 like auto configuration and all that can be implemented with the 5G system. Some features of IPv6 utilized in 4G systems also, but it is all the features are not yet being utilized. Okay, you can see systems like okay, fine. I'll be some slides. So machines are communicating with machines. Cars are talking to every other car which is a nearby car. Okay, just for sharing information. Okay, why to have communication? For sharing information, sharing resources. So what is the condition on the road? Okay, it can be, the information can be sent to all the devices, nearby devices. Implementation of these things, the signals like okay, traffic jam situations ahead and all can be shared. So I'll start this topic again, subtopic, that is journey from first generation towards 5th generation networks. Actually we are seeing this will be the 5th generation, and we are using this cell phone nearly from 50, and say one generation is about lasts about 10 years, and we can expect this 4G. It was launched in India 16, and maybe for next 10 years, okay, 2026, 4G will be still existing, and it has to with this new technology 5G. All right. So in 1970s, 80s, the brick size phone, analog phone, so where one-way communication was there. Push-to-talk systems were converted to two-channel systems and one uplink, and that was called as 1G system. Cost was very high, but still it was very popular because of its beautiful feature, that is mobility. Okay, in 2G systems launched in 1990s, SMS. Okay, it was a feature. Then digital phones were there, and in 3G systems, PA plus system, and 2000 it was launched in 2000. Multiple input, multiple output systems were there, and that too with packet switching data. Okay, so one route was created for data network, and another route was there from the for the switching voice path. Okay, given priority, and voice was given and data was the second priority. But in 4G systems, it is all IP, packet switching network, and here data is so only packet data communication is there. Voice, which was earlier working through circuit switching, now it is working on voice over IP systems like voice over long-term evaluation voltage systems. So voice is it, but the priority now is data. So everybody is requiring that data. Okay, a 3G partnership project, 5G roadmap, and its introduction. Basically, today's World Telecommunication Day is getting the establishment of ITU. Okay, so it was on this day that it is celebrated as the World Telecom Day. ITU basically sends vision and requirement to the 3GPP partnership project groups, and in turn 3GPP will standardize the technical specifications and send it to ITU files of the new features, and some groups are working towards core networks and the terminals. Set some roadmap. Okay, so it all started from release 99. It was called as 3G, but it was very basic version of 3G, and release 4 onwards it was 3G. Okay, release 5 supported HSDPA, and release 6 was HSUPA and HSPA plus. In release 7, introduction of higher order modulation like 16 QAM and 64 techniques of modulation. Multiple input, multiple output technique was with release 7. So here it was 3.75, right? So with the speeds of actually the speeds of 14 Mbps and download speeds of 14. Release 8 defined the long-term evaluation system, which is also called as 4G. Release 9 and release 10 basically LTE advanced systems with higher bandwidth, and MIMO, the order of MIMO has increased in LTE advanced to give more throughputs. Release 11, 12, 13 are designed for 8 by 8 MIMO and 16 by 16 MIMO. Now from 16 by 16 MIMO, it called as massive MIMO system, multiple input, multiple output. So we can expect 100, let's say 100 antennas inside one single antenna. 100 elements are there inside one single antenna. And now with release 15, we are expecting 5G released to be rolled out in various countries across world. China has rolled out it in December. In USA, some part of USA, it was in January this year. Europe was struggling to give some 5G these things rollouts, but they have some software upgrades in their core and core network, but is still being
sorry to disturb.
okay.
We are in the last 10
All right.
minutes, sir.
10 minutes. All right. Yes. Fine. So IMT 2020, that vision was created by this 3GPP system. We are now in 2020. What are the technologies which are involved in 5G systems? We'll quickly have a review. A new spectrum. Okay, this is a full band of the frequencies where various devices are working. Particularly at these bands like 900 megahertz to 2100 megahertz, there are various technology devices available. Mobile communication zone, wireless mobile communication. Now there are two options for 5G rollout. First is frequency, the one first bandwidth, that will be 450 megahertz to 6000 megahertz. That is 450. The leftover bands in 450 6 gigahertz. Okay, so why we are trying to implement it in this thing is another band which is available at around 25 gigahertz and up to 71 gigahertz. So more the frequency, more is the attenuation, less area. and there are various issues related to the higher bandwidths. But yes, there are some benefits, like we can have multi elements, massive MIMO systems can be implemented, and beam forming, which is very useful in 5G technology, be implemented. So it is called as millimeter wave thing. I'll explain in the further slides also. So millimeter wave is basically gigahertz onwards. To be specific, it is 25 megahertz onwards. In the range, in this range, it is called as. Okay, it has some advantages, but there are some disadvantages too. The coverage area is reduced. Okay, coverage area is reduced. Every building or every alternate obstacle can create a discommunication. So what is the solution for? Install multiple antennas and install multiple system these devices which will be hitting in chain system, and we can provide coverage to all the area. This car, if it is driving from this point to this point like this, so there are various obstacles here, and if I'm installing my antennas on the street lights, it will be very easily possible that I can provide the services to that particular car. Second system, massive MIMO, multiple input, multiple output, nearly 100 by 100 antenna system actually installed in these countries where 5G has been rolled out, but they are talking about 248 by 248. So 248 inputs and 248 outputs. So, so we are expecting that this kind of systems will be, but again, with some benefits, we are having less coverage area disadvantage. Okay, what is beam forming systems? We were having large coverage area. Okay, we were using OFDMA system, but yes, two users are there which are standing nearby. They may create interferences because the beam forming, the beam width is more. Now 5G beam forming, multiple antennas are there, so we can have a directional beam towards each and every user. So that is the interference. It is very wonderful technique, newly implemented, and it's visible cable. What is the benefit of dedicated beam towards particular user? What are the benefits? Bandwidth. Okay, width is not shared, we can say. Okay, but with this beam forming, we can provide each and every user location identification features also. Okay, so these techniques are being utilized in 5G techniques out. Now 3D beam forming. So that 5G e-node B antenna system, it will be transmitting that beam towards user. So earlier the antennas were designed so that they will be providing some coverage in the downwards this thing direction, but having various directional beams. Okay, so we are going to have those many advantages. So what is the benefit of multiple antenna? Better overall signal quality, better power consumption, lower interferences, greater range of improved coverages. Improved coverages, I am saying, not increased coverages, higher capacity or throughput, improved spectral efficiency. These are the benefits. Okay, some diversity issues. Diversity, basically what was the thing is the reflected path signals were creating fading effect, right? So direction signals were received at the antenna from many directions. It was creating some issues. Now we can utilize this multipath thing to the advantage because of